Today, we're talking about wireless video monitoring setups and my thoughts on the Hollyland MARS 400S. Hey, what's up? I'm MJ Hardinge and welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you've been here before. So today we're talking about wireless video monitoring, something that for a lot of filmmakers just starting out feels like it's too expensive or out of reach, and I've only been using wireless video systems for a little over a year now, but the team at Hollyland reached out to me asking if I'd like to try the new MARS 400S system and share my thoughts with you all. Now yes, Hollyland did send me this unit for free to try out, but they haven't paid me nor told me what to say, so the following is my honest opinion. So here's the basics you need to know. The Hollyland MARS 400S is an STI and HDMI wireless video system with a range of up to 400 feet. It's small, lightweight, built like a tank, and also supports 1080p video up to 60 frames per second with great image quality. But the thing that really sets the MARS 400S apart from other wireless video systems is, as well as your normal transmitters and receivers, you can actually use up to 4 iOS or Android devices as independent receivers at the same time. So you can use your phone or an iPad as a monitor on set, which is so useful. And the real kicker is, this thing only costs around $650 US, which is insane when you compare it to other options on the market. So let's break down some more of the nitty-gritty details. Both the transmitter and receiver have STI and HDMI connectors on them, so no matter what type of camera or monitor you're using, you'll have no issues. The units have strong anti-interference capability and can support up to 5 sets of units being used in the same environment across 8 channels, and also have USB-C connectors on them for firmware updates. These units can be powered by the standard Sony L-series batteries. Now, the battery life on these units is really impressive. We easily get a whole day of shooting off one of our bigger NP style batteries, but both the units do have a DC input on them, so they can be powered by other options. And in the box, you also get a DC power supply. Another thing power-wise, which is actually a big deal, is that it has a battery life indicator on the OLED screens. Now, this seems obvious, but a number of wireless video products don't actually have battery indicators on them, so your units may die without warning. So this is a great feature to have. Another small yet nice touch is included in the box is this L bracket for mounting the transmitter horizontally instead of vertically. So you can choose what's best for your setup to stay compact depending on what rig you're using. Hollyland claims to have less than 0.1 seconds of latency on these devices, and while we haven't experienced these speeds, the delay is very minimal and you can easily pull focus off this unit without having any issues. It is important to note our main external monitors are HDMI, and that is known to be a slower connection than STI, so if we had both STI on the camera and the monitor end, we may have got closer to 0.1 latency, but it's still very minimal in terms of delay. The app is slightly more delayed than the dedicated receiver, but not by much depending on how far away the transmitter is, but more on range shortly. Image quality is really nice as well. On the receiver, it looks to have little to no compression, so you get sharp and detailed images. And on the app, you can choose whether to transmit in SD or HD, depending on your signal strength, and the inbuilt features will help you scan for the best channel. You can also change the settings on your units from image mode, balance mode, or speed mode, so you can decide whether low latency or the best image quality is more important to you. The thing that really sets the Hollyland MARS 400S apart from the other options on the market is the app functionality. Hollyland has also just updated the app to version 2, which packs some incredible functionality into it. So let me quickly take you through what it can do. To connect to transmitter, simply scan the QR code on the transmitter with your phone's camera and they will automatically connect. From there, you have a huge range of options. Not only can you monitor live, but you also have the ability to record video directly from the app and take frame grabs that save directly to your device. Now, I love this because you can quickly take screenshots and draw on them, and you can also save the video files and share them to wherever you need to, which is super useful for quickly playing back or sharing dailies. Version 2 of the HollyView app has brought a wide range of professional tools directly to your iOS or Android device. Everything from histograms, waveforms, false color, zebras, peaking, frame guides, 3D LUTs, pretty much everything you'd want. And you can also change all the parameters just like you'd be able to on a professional monitor. So if you wanted to adjust the threshold level of your zebras, for example, you can do so by sliding your finger. And you can also adjust the color of your focus peaking, you can set frame guides, you can adjust the color and transparency, and heaps more. There really isn't much you can't do with the HollyView app. Being able to both let our crew and clients watch our camera feeds with technology they already own is incredibly useful for keeping gear to a minimum. And I love being able to direct using an iPad on long days instead of having to lug around a big monitor and heavy receiver setup. So to test the field range of the Mars 400S, we've decided to come out to a local football ground. Now, do keep in mind, this isn't really going to be a real world situation test because we're in the middle of a football ground and there's obviously not going to be much Wi-Fi interference, but at least it does give us a nice big open space to be able to walk the receiver out from the camera and see how far we can get before the image starts to break apart. So here we have the receiver connected to my small HD screen and also an iPad, which is using the iOS app. So through the app, I'm currently recording a proxy version of the clip just so we can play this back and really show you how well the image is holding up in terms of the Wi-Fi connection through the app versus the radio of this one here. Well, at least that was the plan, but when we actually went to get this off our camera roll from the iPad, we realized that the clip didn't save properly. For some reason, it was just coming back as like a fully grey image and didn't have any footage in there. So that was really upsetting because we wanted to use that to show you what their footage actually looked like to us. We haven't had any issues in the past with shorter clips, but this also was using version 1 of the app. So since version 2, we haven't had any issues similar to this, but unfortunately for this test now, you'll just have to listen to me tell you about what I'm seeing on the screens. So sorry about that. So now we're at 33 meters away from the receiver and both images are still doing a really good job. I have noticed that the app is a little bit delayed by a couple of frames over this one still, but both really aren't having any signal issues and I can't see any deterioration in quality either, which is really nice. So 75 meters away and the app just dropped a frame and froze for a minute. It has come back on now. It's starting to fall apart a little bit, but again, we are 75 meters away, which is still relatively impressive. Having said that though, the receiver, still no issues so far as well. I think we're going to run out of tape in a second. Well, that's the end of that. So we're 100 meters away. This is definitely falling apart and dropping frames a lot more than what the receiver is, but I didn't have much hope for this iPad situation working very well, so it's actually really impressive that probably about 120 meters away still, it's working really nicely. What's 120 meters in feet? That's probably like 400, right? Hey Google, what's 400 feet in meters?
400 feet equal 121.92 meters.
So we've definitely gone past the 400 feet. So we ran out of tape like what, 50 meters ago, and I'd say we're at least 150 meters away from the camera now. And both are still recording really well. Like, you can look through the app here and we'll put this on the screen as well. Still doing a relatively good job in terms of it's not dropping too many frames. It is sort of glitching here and there, but definitely still usable for monitoring and stuff. And the receiver, still working great, and we're well over the 400 feet that it's quoted on the box saying it can do. So in terms of range, really impressed with how this has worked so far. On set, we mostly had a pretty good experience with using both the receiver and the app running at the same time. There was some instances where the app's image was starting to fall apart or may freeze for a couple of seconds, but nothing to the point of where it slowed us down too much. In terms of things I don't like about this unit, well, there isn't much, and I think most of my concerns seem to be things that can be fixed through firmware updates in the future, but here's a few things that I noticed. There is a little fan noise on both the transmitter and receiver. You may hear transmitter fan noise through any on-camera microphones if they're mounted close to each other, but for us, we're normally always using boom or lav mics and not using on-camera audio, so that wasn't really a concern for us. The app is also relatively new, and it does have its glitches and can sometimes take a few seconds to load in between different pages or a couple of taps to get a function to work properly. Also, the 3D LUTs look really strange. I'm not sure if it's because the image is like heavily compressed and it just falls apart once you add a LUT to it, but I'd like to be able to see the ability to also import your own LUTs in the future. But again, these are all things that are easily fixable through firmware updates, so I don't have any concerns about these issues. And they might even be fixed by the time you're watching this. Although the Mars 400S is listed in the prosumer section of Hollyland's website, I can see this being used by anyone from the indie level all the way up to your professional Hollywood film sets. For $650 US, it really has some features I haven't seen anywhere in this price point before, so you will get a lot of bang for your buck. It's not often a piece of equipment can completely change the way you shoot, but the Mars 400S has really done that for me and my team. It's allowed us to be more efficient on set by having multiple feeds available to us by using devices we already carry with us, and it also means we don't have to go and spend thousands of dollars on buying or renting more receivers and monitors for the various people on set who need to see picture. Overall, my team and I are really happy with the Mars 400S, and it's quickly become a staple in our kit, and I think it will be for a long time to come. So what do you think of the Mars 400S? If you do have any questions, feel free to drop me a comment below or hit me up on Instagram or Twitter at @MJHardinge. If you want to pick up one of these for yourself, I've left my kit page linked in the description too, which does have an affiliate link to the Mars 400S. If you do choose to use that, it does mean we get a small commission, but that just goes towards helping us be able to keep making more high quality videos for you for this channel. And if you do want to know more about filmmaking and what goes into it, well, you know what to do. But until next time, I'm MJ Hardinge, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.